Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys, back in today's video with another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we're looking at the Marvel Legends 85th anniversary line, Odin, the All-Father. This has been a very long time coming. A lot of people, including myself, have been asking for more Asgardian characters, and while we have already gotten Odin and the line before, it is relatively old. It came out way back in 2014. I almost forgot this one was even coming out. I forgot it was a part of the 85th anniversary line, but here we have it, and wow, just the packaging is enormous on its own. Here is the side art and the back of the box, which includes a bio. Odin, king of Asgard, uses his immense wisdom and skills as a warrior to defend the realms as the All-Father. Was that good? Was it really good? Should I be a voice actor? Probably not. Alright, but without further ado, let's get into the review. First mentioned in Journey into Mystery, issue number 85, the King of Asgard and Protector of the Nine Realms, Odin, would make his first appearance in Journey into Mystery, issue number 86, in November of 1962. The All-Father was adapted from Norse mythology into the Marvel Universe by illustrator Jack Kirby and writer Stan Lee. He is the father to Thor, Loki, Balder, Angela, and many more. Oh man, what an absolutely beautiful looking figure this is. I'm already so excited to talk about the sculpt and the paint apps because there is a lot to talk about here. Let's start things off with the feet, and already there is just so much amazing detail. I love the scaling going down the ankles into the feet, and then this like armored pattern just going up, layer after layer, and it continues up to the shin right here with these bones sticking out. I think that looks lovely, and there's a dent, some scratches. Yeah, this armor has seen some battles, as I'm sure Odin had his fair share of. Same on the other side. I absolutely love that small detail. And the knee pads too have these giant horns sticking out of it, and those two also have some battle damage going all throughout it. I forgot to mention these little bolts going up and down. It just looks freaking awesome. And it is molded in a gold plastic, which I think looks fantastic with the rest of the figure, because the blue up here for this like chainmail is a reflective blue. It's a silvery blue color, and it just looks flat. It's just, man, it's mesmerizing, honestly. And then you get to this skirt piece and all of those Norse designs going all throughout it. It just looks so regal, and I love the dried up leather underneath. Dude, it is sculpted to perfection. And it is like that for the rest of the waistband, where you get some hide right here on the sides, and then, oops, ignore that. And then like some more scaling going down, and these little cuts right here. Man, even on the back, there's just battle damage, and that looks wonderful. Ooh, even on the outside. Oh, man. Yeah, and I love this design, too, right here. There really isn't anything underneath. Oh, my God. Even his choni is, like, sculpted. Look at that. It's like a dried-up leather as well. And even on the underside of it, too. Wow. Just incredible. And then you move on to the belt piece, and oh, my God, this like middle section right here, it just looks, yeah, whatever that means. I am drooling over this right now. It's salivating. It looks awesome, and I love the bronze it's painted in, the sculpt of it. If I had to guess, I guess that would be like, is Jorgenmander, maybe the world serpent or something. Hydra, I don't know. It just looks awesome. That's all I know. And it is surrounded by these raised patterns right here, and then oh my God, all that gold right there. It just looks so good, the painted gold. And the rest of the belt is sculpted beautifully as well. Ooh, and I love those lightning bolts on the side. It's just a really small Easter egg, but I still love it. And right here, like the indents in the leather. Look at this metal piece right here. Oh my God. It is wonderfully sculpted. It's so intricate, and there's just so much detail all throughout it. It's phenomenally well done. And the scaling behind it too, it looks great. It kind of reminds me of Aquaman's armor, honestly. It's kind of like a darker gold, almost an orangish color. But all throughout it, there are scratch marks, there's dents, there's like battle, yeah, you can see right here, there's that X. There's just battle damage all throughout it, and I think that looks great. I think it looks otherworldly, honestly. And this blue chain matching up with the blue scales on the side, and it just wraps all the way around the torso. We'll look at the back later when I'm able to take off this cape. The shoulder pads, oh, even more dense and cuts all throughout it. I love all the battle damage going all throughout it, and like this infinity symbol right there. The arms have that same chainmail pattern as the legs, and it is sculpted in the same blue plastic. The gauntlets look gnarly. I love all the cuts and scrapes all throughout the dents, and it is filled with some more horns and some more of those Norse patterns right there. And the hands itself, dude, they're huge, and they are just covered with so much detail. And now moving up, and you have this cape right here. It is folded so wonderfully. I am shocked it managed to stay like this in the package for all that time, because yeah, it just looks so regal. Kind of reminds me of like the Knight's Guard or whatever they're called from Game of Thrones. And this bear fur going on the back, it is sculpted so beautifully. No, not really any paint apps all throughout it, but yeah, just the various levels of sculpting to it adds some shadowing to it. Naturally, it is removable, and we'll do that right now just to see the rest of the back. And dude, it is just flat out awesome. I love this leather band going on the back, and it is in the middle. There's this gold diamond, and dude, it just looks awesome. It's sculpted in gold too. The rest of the armor is very consistent. Not a ton of battle damage on the back, as I mean, I wouldn't expect there to be because it's like covered up. But yeah, I just love the consistency of the sculpt work all throughout the figure. I think it is absolutely breathtaking. Now, speaking of breathtaking, we just got to take a look at the head sculpts and the rest of the accessories. First up, I start off with this head sculpt because it is easily my favorite. I love just the overall grandness of this helmet. It just looks kingly. It looks king-like. If I had to describe it the easiest way I could, it's just so fitting for a king. I love the bird on the top, or actually, no, that's a raven. That's a really neat touch. Really cool. It's a touch of detail right there. And man, the rest of this, the crown up here going all throughout, and the horns just twirling up, and it is all molded in a gold plastic, so you don't have to worry about any chipping. It's, man, I'm at a loss for words. It is just absolutely breathtaking. I am such a huge fan of it. And it even has hair going down from the back of it, although you're not able to really pose it above the fur. But here's a look at it. It isn't a ton of hair, but it does fit very snugly underneath that fur. There is also this helmet, and while I don't like it as much as the first one I showed off, it is just very close. It's by like this much, honestly. This thing looks incredible as well. It has some damage on the bones of the horns, and those gold pieces wrapping around it also have like battle damage, like scratches going all throughout the detail. Oh man, and these like Norse patterns going all throughout the back of it, and then on the top too. Dude, it's just littered with so much sculpt work, and it's just hard not to admire it. This to me is like his battle helmet. Like, this is the one he's going into battle with. The other helmet is more like one that he sits on the throne with. Just looks absolutely breathtaking. And last but not least, we have just his hair. Yeah, without the helmet or anything, it looks great. I love the shadowing in between the indents of the hair. That looks phenomenal. And let's go over the face now, finally, with that beard. Yeah, the same paintwork that you get on the hair you see throughout the beard. I love how bushy it is, how big it is, and it doesn't really get in the way all too much. Yeah, you can still move it just fine. And the face itself too, love the golden eye patch with that line work on it. The eyebrows and the eye look so incredibly lifelike. I absolutely love it. And the wrinkles all throughout the skin just look great. And here he is with his hair down and the armor without the cape and the fur, and it just looks awesome. This is like when he's getting serious in battle. He has two open sea grip hands. First up is his staff, and it fits in very snugly into both hands. And this is reused from the 2014 Allfather Build-A-Figure, which I'll show off in the size comparisons portion of the video, don't worry. Love the ornate detailing and just the overall size of it. It's almost perfect. I kind of wish it was a little bit taller, but yeah, it looks fantastic. He also comes with this giant broadsword. Another piece that came from the Allfather Build-A-Figure wave. I'll go over that again in the side comparisons portion of the video. Love the Norse detailing all throughout it, and that little crystal on the center of it. Just this cherry on top of an already amazing sculpt. And the handle too is painted in like the same color as the chainmail on his chest. He also comes with a fisted hand and an opened up hand. And that's really it for hands. Again, this really bothers me with Hasbro. Just stop doing this. Just give us matching pairs of hands, or just don't include them at all. It's just so annoying to get this and not have an open hand for this arm or a fisted hand for this arm. Yeah, it's just super annoying. Please stop this, Hasbro. He also comes with his ravens, Hugin and Munin. And these originally came out with the Herald of Galactus Thor, I believe, in the controller Build-A-Figure wave. And yeah, they are sculpted very nicely, very big, fitting for Odin himself. Don't know if this is a paint app or QC issue, but the back of one of the ravens is painted in like a really reflective purple color, while the other one just doesn't have that paint at all. So yeah, let me know if you guys have this figure, if yours has the same paint, or if it's just like that for everyone. That's kind of weird. But now going over articulation, the head is able to move up this much and look down like the tiniest bit. He has some pivot and some side-to-side movement. His arm is able to move up this much, and it does have rotation, allowing it to move all the way around. He has an upper bicep swivel and a single jointed elbow that's tougher than a $2 steak to move. So yeah, heat yours up, be careful, don't be like me. That also has a swivel in it, and your standard wrist hinge, allowing his hand to move up, down, all the way around. He has a lower diaphragm joint, allowing it to move this far back and a tiny bit forward, some pivot right there, and side to side movement. And then his leg is able to kick up this much, go off to the side that much, and go back not really at all. He has upper thigh swivel, a double jointed knee that bends back that much. Again, be careful, don't be like me, heat your figure up just in case. His foot is able to move this far down, this far up. Now going over size comparisons, here is Odin next to the Hulkbuster armor and Scar, Taskmaster and Doctor Doom, Iron Patriot and Venom, Astonishing Wolverine and Miss Marvel, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Finally, wrapping up the Marvel 85th anniversary line, we have Superior Spider-Man and Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider. Next up, we have Thor and Loki, the Allfather wave Thor, and the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave Valkyrie. And you'll have to excuse the dust. Some of these figures have gone untouched for years, like literally years. And one neat thing I wanted to bring up is that the sword that Odin here comes with originally came packaged with this Thor. So that's really neat. Angela and Lady Loki, Mighty Thor and Beta Ray Bill. And finally, the comparison that you've all probably been waiting for, the Allfather Build-A-Figure. This came out in 2014. And quick side note, before I continue on, this is the staff that came with the Allfather. This is the one with this new version. So yeah, it is reused from that original. Which one is better? I think it is very subjective. It depends on your taste. But I think in terms of like just action figure, which one is better between the two? I mean, you got to go with the new one, the 85th anniversary. This one has superior face printing. Like the face just looks so lifelike compared to this like Barbie doll paint over here. And the overall sculpt, like this, it feels somewhat king-like, but this really, it just King of the Nine Realms. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. Compared to this, don't get me wrong, I still absolutely love this version, but it's just mostly due to nostalgia. This is one of the first Build-A-Figures that I completed. I think the first one was Ironmonger, and then this one right here. Yeah, I completed this one. This was my second ever Build-A-Figure. Pearlescent Toys lore. I remember getting this entire wave as a gift for my birthday, my 14th birthday. All the way back in 2014, I was eating out with my family at a hometown buffet, and while we were leaving, my lovely mother gave me
this huge box. I unwrapped it, and inside was every single figure in the wave. And that night I went home, opened them all up, all excited, and completed the Allfather. It was such a wonderful experience. So I'm definitely keeping this guy just for nostalgia's sake. But dude, this one has to take over for the display. I mean, it's just too gorgeous not to. Now on to the usual suspects. Here we have Deadpool and Hydra Bob, Deadpool and Hydra Bob, Darwin and Morbius, Commander Gary and CT-4279, Grogu and Sad Freaking Rollins, and finally Jeff the Landshark and Spider Ham. Alright, time for my final rating and my overall thoughts. I think I'm going to give Odin here a final rating of 9.5 out of 10. This is as close to perfect as it comes. And honestly, might just be my favorite figure from the 85th anniversary line. And I'm not sure if that is the recency bias speaking for me, but like the sculpt and the paint is just absolutely breathtaking. Every inch of it is phenomenal. It looks incredible, and it is such an improved version compared to the original Build-A-Figure that came out all the way back in 2014. Now, that isn't to say that this figure is without its flaws. The clunkiness of it, although like it is a bigger figure, so I understand why it is so clunky. That just like inhibits some of the articulation overall. The biggest issue, the one that I take personally, are those hands. Why, Hasbro, quit doing that. It's so annoying. It's so easy just to do a complete set of hands, but instead lately they just haven't been doing that, and it's just so annoying. I will continue deducting points. They don't care. But like personally, like it just bothers me to no end. I really wish they would stop doing it. Just give us complete sets of hands, please. This figure would have been a 10 out of 10 if you had done that. As it stands, this figure for me is a 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, that'll do for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you would rate this figure out of 10 in the comment section below. I would love to see your guys' ratings. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. Anything you can do that'll support the channel will be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye. This is when he's like, all right, the battle's getting real, you know, he needs to really put his all into it, just throws off the cape. I'm like making a movie in my mind. I don't know if you guys can see it. But now going over, except now. Another piece that came from the Allfather. The Allfather.